Most observers today would admit that the Oslo process has really failed. Its promise of moving slowly towards a Palestinian state and implementing a variant of a two-state solution has clearly failed. The Palestinian Authority continues to abide by and large, by all of its obligations under the Oslo Agreement, but Israel has violated them left and right. It's kept Gaza under siege. It has not allowed the free passage between Gaza and the West Bank, or the 12-mile fishing zone that was allowed under the Oslo Agreement. It continues to invade Area A whenever it chooses to do so. It does not transfer monies to the Palestinian Authority for their taxes and customs, and uses that as leverage to force the Palestinian Authority to do what it wants. Settlements are continuing and expanding. The 5-year period that was supposed to be an interim period has gone on now for more than 15 years and seems to be a permanent state of affairs. On the 50th anniversary of the occupation, it's become clear, and Prime Minister Netanyahu has made it clear that the prospects of a Palestinian state is not very good, that Israel will continue to be in charge and in control of all the occupied territories pretty much indefinitely. Well, where does that leave us? Actually, there's only two solutions that are now available. The current state of affairs is clearly one of apartheid. There's two populations living between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River, a Jewish and a non-Jewish population. They live under tremendously different and varying conditions, legal, economic, political. One population has basically all the power, and the other has to live under a different set of rules and laws, which is basically the definition of what an apartheid is. Another possibility would be equality, a single state for both communities, and seeking to work towards genuine freedom, genuine rights, away from discrimination and racism. The two-state solution continues to be talked about all the time, but there are major obstacles to bringing it about. Largely, all the settlers and the settlements that have been created, their numbers, about 800,000 Jewish settlers in the occupied territories, but also the entire network of roads, of residential areas, the psychological and the legal and the administrative infrastructure that serves the two populations in a different way, have made it almost impossible to create a genuine two-state solution. So, as Christians and others consider the situation, the elements that we have to look at are different. We can be, of course, informed by the history and the past, but we must now look to what are the elements of a genuinely just solution or situation. Even if we cannot find an ultimate formula for resolving all the problem, we can certainly point out to elements that should be part of that solution. These elements should include an absence of violence and reliance on weapons by both sides. It should include a measure of justice, a rejection of a solution that is based just on who has more power and can impose its will. And elements should include respect for human rights of individuals and communities, both communities. It should include a rejection of racism in all its forms and discrimination in all its forms. Rejection of anti-Semitism against the Jews, but also rejection of anti-Arab bias and a movement towards greater equality and greater acceptance and respect and human dignity for all parties involved. It should include free access to the holy places in Jerusalem for everyone, Christians, Muslims, and Jews. It should include a vision that's closer to the kingdom of God than the nationalist, exclusivist, tribal allegiances that have bedeviled the area for a long time. This is our hope, and this is our goal.